Jai Hind, dear children. Welcome to today's biology class. Last class we have learned about the structure and function of male and female reproductive system in humans. Today we can learn about the fertilization and post-fertilization developments that occur in human reproductive system. Now watch the video carefully. We have already discussed that in male reproductive system, the male gametes called sperms are produced in the testes and released out through penis. In the female reproductive system, ovum or egg is produced and released from the ovary, and this egg is carried by the fallopian tube or oviduct from the ovary to the uterus. During sexual intercourse, the sperms are released into the vagina. From the vagina, the sperms moves upwards through the cervix and to uterus and reach the oviduct, where it fuses with the egg. The sperms are millions in number, but only one sperm fertilizes with the ovum. And this fusion of sperm with the egg is called as fertilization. Fertilization generally occurs in the ampulla region of the oviduct. At this moment, the chromosomes present in both the male and female gametes combines, and this determines the gender of the young one and all the other characteristics like skin color, hair texture, hair color, eye color, height, etc. This fertilized egg is called as zygote. Now this zygote undergoes cleavage, that is, it divides continuously into 2 and then to 4 and then to 8 and then to 16 and so on. And forms a ball of cells called as the blastocyst and move downwards towards the uterus. The blastocyst consists of a mass of cells and a cavity. This later develops into 3 layers of cells called germ layers, which include endoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm, from which all the different types of cells get differentiated. This blastocyst reaches the uterus by 7 days after fertilization. And this blastocyst, when it reaches the uterus, gets embedded into the thickened inner lining of the uterus. And this process is called as implantation. After implantation, it starts dividing further and develops into embryo. So many developmental changes occurs in the embryo as well as the uterine wall. The inner lining of the uterus is richly supplied with blood and called as the endometrium and nourishes the growing embryo, and which later develops into fetus. There forms a special spongy disc-shaped tissue called placenta at the region where the embryo is implanted in the uterine wall. In the placenta, there present villi-like structures at the fetal side, which is rich in blood vessels, and the fetal blood comes very close to the maternal blood. Here, the exchange of materials between the mother's blood and the fetus blood takes place. The fetus gets nutrients, water, oxygen and minerals and vitamins from the maternal blood through the placenta, and from the fetus the waste materials like carbon dioxide, urea, etc. is returned back to the mother's blood. Thus the placenta serves as the nutritive, respiratory and excretory organ of the growing fetus. During the 4th week of development, there develops a special umbilical cord which provides an intimate connection between the fetus and the placenta. The complete development of fetus, that is from the initial stage of conception till the birth of the young one, is called as gestation period or pregnancy. The gestation period is completed by approximately 9 months or about 280 days or 40 weeks from the day of conception. The full grown fetus is now ready to be delivered out from mother's body, and this process is called as parturition or birth of a baby. Now let us discuss about the menstrual cycle in female. We have already discussed the functions of female reproductive system. What are the functions? It produces and releases the egg cell or ovum for fertilization. One follicle matures and releases one ovum alternately from either ovary into the body cavity in a month. When one follicle matures, it projects out from the ovarian surface as a small cyst which then bursts to liberate the ovum. This process is called as ovulation. Ovulation starts at the onset of puberty. Another function of ovary is that it secretes hormones such as estrogen and progesterone to make changes in the uterus. By the action of these hormones, the uterus also gets prepared by thickening the inner lining with blood vessels and become spongy to receive the fertilized egg and nourishing the embryo if the fertilization would take place. This also happens every month due to the action of the hormones estrogen and progesterone produced from the ovary. If the egg is fertilized, the embryo gets implanted in the inner lining of the uterus. Now, what happens when the egg is not fertilized? The egg will be alive for only one day. If the egg is not fertilized, it degenerates and expelled out from the body. And the thick inner lining of the uterus, which is rich in blood vessel, is not needed now. And it breaks down slowly and shed off from the uterine wall and comes out of the vagina along with the blood and mucus. This discharge of blood, mucus and the broken pieces of uterine lining is called as menstruation. This process takes place every month from the age of puberty if the egg is not fertilized. The production of ovum, ovulation and menstruation are controlled by the hormones produced by the action of pituitary gland present in our brain. There occurs a cycle of events in the female reproductive organ which are controlled by the sex hormones estrogen and progesterone in every 28 days and marked by menstrual flow. It is called as menstrual cycle. After menstruation, the follicles in the ovary releases estrogen which stimulates the maturation of another one ovum and the development of lining of uterus. The first menstruation commences at puberty and is called as the menarche. It marks the beginning of reproductive life of human female. The reproductive cycle continues to occur till the age of 40 to 45. After this, menstruation stops. This stoppage of menstrual flow and cycle of events in ovary and uterus is termed as menopause. So the normal reproductive life of human female is the period between menarche and menopause. So children, I hope all of you understood the contents discussed today. Read the textbook thoroughly and prepare the notes.